Hi there, and welcome to Graham's Guide Friday Live, this Friday, the 14th of April. As you can see, my background's different. I'm in a new location because over Easter, I moved house from my previous location, which was about 100 kilometers from here. So let's get straight into it. You don't need to hear more about my domestic situation. Um, Today, I'm going to be talking to you about assignment 2 and making sure that you've provided in-text citations for assignment 2. So let's just go and quickly have a look at why this is important. If we scroll down to assignment 2, and if you've watched my assignment 2 video, you'll already be familiar with a lot of this. And then scroll into the assignment criteria. Now, this is the marking criteria. So you'll need to, there's 20 marks here for talking about these first issues, the ethical problem. Make sure you just choose one ethical issue. I know that in the discussion boards, I've seen that many of you have found many ethical issues, but just choose one to write about, because with only about 400 words for each answer, you're not going to have enough of a word count to cover more than one issue fully. And we want an in-depth coverage. So that's why we allow 400 words for one ethical issue to be covered. You'll also need to be identifying the spoken and unspoken messages, which you've been working on this week in week 5, and I've been providing some additional guidance in the week 5 discussion. So if you want more heads up on identification of spoken and unspoken messages, head into the week 5 discussion. And you'll also need to use future work skills, 2 future work skills, I think it is. Yeah, you need to identify. Now, these are different to your goals, your unit and course goals. These are identifying future work skills that can help you resolve the ethical issue. And a common one that is used is cross-cultural competency. Sometimes within the professional setting, there may be cultural differences. You may come from a different background to your client, and you may need to improve your level of cross-cultural competency to better understand your client or the person you're dealing with. Another good one to use is social constructivism, not social constructivism. What is it? That's why these videos are live. Social intelligence. Got there. So social intelligence can be also very important when you're communicating with your clients or with other people. And if you're not sure about what social intelligence is, head into the future work skills reading, and you'll see more about whether social intelligence is a skill that you can use to help resolve the ethical issue. And then finally, the last section is on the proposed strengths and weaknesses of your solution. So this section really is about bringing together what you've already spoken about. So in this section, you'll mention the ethical issue, how it relates to your code of ethics. You might want to mention something about spoken and unspoken messages here, but you'll definitely want to talk about how the future work skill may be used to help resolve the issue, and talk about the strength of your resolution and any weaknesses that there might be in how you want to resolve the issue. Finally, down here, it goes into academic writing, and that's worth 15%, and sources and referencing are worth 5%. Even though sources and referencing is only worth 5%, you won't be able to give an adequate answer to any of these earlier answers without citing references, without citing sources. So for each of these sections, you need to really cite a source. But I've given you some guidance on this, so let's head out of here and go into one of the discussion forums. Let's go into group 22 and into the assignment 2 discussion, and scroll down. And when you scroll down here, you'll see that I provided a suggested structure. So for section 1, I've suggested citing the code of ethics. For section 2, you'll notice in the week 4 and week 5 discussion tasks, I've provided a reference to Brown. And Brown wrote a book on the principles of language learning and teaching. There's an excerpt from his book that is highly relevant to talking about spoken and unspoken messages. So my advice is to find a way to cite either Baldovino or Brown when you're answering section 2 in assignment 2. Then in section 3, you'll need to cite, because you're talking about the future work skills, 2 future work skills, you'll have to cite the future work skills reading. And then finally, in the last section, you may need to cite the code of ethics again as you're answering that section. Look, that's all from me for now. I just wanted to go through those things very quickly for you, and hopefully that'll help you with assignment 2. There's been a lot of questions this week in the discussion boards, but until next week, from my new location, I'll have hopefully a better background next week. At the moment, there's just a whole lot of unopened boxes. Anyway, ask any questions that have arisen from this video in the discussions where I'll be very happy to answer them. And you can also continue the discussion with your fellow students. Thanks very much for joining me today on Friday Live. Bye for now.